The moderators were the best. So, the question I asked you 3 times, would I ask you a 4th time. It was about childcare. Can you say anything remotely related to the topic? The immigrants are tearing down America because this man is horrible. And I'm like, yeah, so you're not going to talk about that.
Frankly, I believe every child in America thinks that he's a bad president. Like, what the fuck, Trump? Like, this nigga was just making up shit, bro. That shit he said about clean water, I'm like, what are you talking about? You made that up. You didn't do shit cleaning up water. Name the policy. Where in the country did you clean water in the administration? You lying ass.
And he's like, these facts are just
never came back to it.
We had to clean up water. Black jobs. What is black jobs? Tell somebody, please.
I think he just means jobs for black people.
Chimney sweep?
I didn't know there was such a category.
I think he just means jobs for black people. I think that's all he means.
Eviscerate, blew
that's what I
up Joe
understood.
Biden.
Because of it.
Farewell, Democrats.
I don't like the way Donald Trump says black. I find it great.
Yeah. I think he said the blacks at one point.
Blacks.
It sounded wrong.
Yeah, he did. It sounds exactly like what it should, coming from him. Like, I mean, it's fitty.
Oh, but when Trump hit him with the, this guy went around calling people super predators. I was like, damn, bro. Not the super predators. I had me dying. I was like, damn, Trump, you really got it, bro.
The Kitover was the icing on the cake. That shit.
That was the funny. He said, I can hit a ball far.
Yo, and then look on Trump's face when Biden said he had a 6 handicap, and Trump just like smirked down to his side.
Oh my God,
he lost. I was like, yo, Biden just lost. America's voting Trump.
I guarantee you that face is a new Trump meme. As of like 2 minutes ago, that's a new Trump meme. Everybody gonna have that shit. That face is dying. Yo, look at Shay's PTR. This nigga was looking like that for like 40 minutes, bro. Biden has that face on his face for like 40 minutes of the debate total, bro.
He's still got that face on right now.
That face is okay. It was when he was blankly staring.
Borderline fist. That's the face you make when you smell. That's the face you make when you like somebody. Did somebody fart, bro? Like that's that face. That's the face that I associate with that shit, bro.
Where is this face? I cannot find it. She's on it. Oh, there. I see. Thanks for waiting. That face has like 5 emotions in one though. It's like confused. Wait, no, wait. Yes, I'm intent. I'm focused. All that is like it's like 6 different things happening at once. Like it stank. Like look. If I told you, you said a bad smell went by him. Does that picture match? Yes. Somebody said something stupid. Does this picture match? Yes. He's confused. Does that picture match it? Like, it doesn't matter what you say. This is the face that applies. Like, the fact that you can't figure out what his actual reaction is quite
I feel like everybody's gonna have PTR.
Very true.
Weird faces for the next few days.
Everyone will find out.
That shit is funny, bro.
Or not.
Yeah, he was like, the only one that's a convicted felon here is you. I was like, damn. You ain't gotta do Trump like that, bro. Then Trump hit him back with, your son's a convicted felon. I was like, damn.
Yo, mama. That was yo, mama.
I was like, yo, Trump.
It was.
Do it like that, bro. Yo. Trump basically stopped that convicted felon talk quick. Like, if you want to go there, we can go there, bro. I really thought they will talk more about that shit. I guess the next debate they'll bring it up more.
There were like 2 we got to don't have to watch more of these. Like,
yeah, that's what more in September, I think.
No, I'm saying it in the sense of like, it's just really good use of our time.
Bro, that shit.
I was entertained in the way I thought I would be. There were some zingers from both sides. Trump's gonna be Trump. Trump at first was uncharacteristically disciplined. I was actually kind of like creeped out by it. I was like, if Trump learns how to be disciplined, this is scary as fuck. But then Trump slowly started to lose it. So I'm like, okay, there he goes.
Even answering tough questions, he avoided questions about insurrection, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, He blamed Nancy Pelosi.
That's the best,
funny.
worst answer ever.
He was like, Nancy Pelosi said it was all her fault.
Yeah. That was funny. She said it herself. She should have done it, not me.
Like, I gave her, I offered her troops. She didn't take it. And then he didn't even know Muriel Bowser's name. He was like, yeah, the mayor down there in D.C. Like, you don't know her name, bro? Like, yeah, I offered the troops. She didn't take it. So, yeah, you can't blame me for January 6th. Like, nigga, what? You organized the entire fucking event. What? Then you waited for 4 hours and didn't say shit while everybody was begging you to stop them motherfuckers, bro. So, like, yeah, and also Biden put you on blast in front of everybody, and we all know the details, or at least most of us, and if you didn't know, if you were listening to Biden, and he articulated it pretty well. Yeah, bro, and then he just moved on. Like, I was just like, wow, okay. Biden, you just gonna let him just move on, bro? Biden, to his credit, didn't let him move on, though. I was like, all right, at least he tried to get him back. Yeah, Trump lost on that point. There was no way Trump was gonna win on that point, though. There's no real...
Well, he didn't even say no. Like, homegirl asked him like 4 times. He's like, if it's some shit that I'm going to determine if it's actually happening. Fair, this, that, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, no, that was the accepting the results of the election. But
What were y'all just talking about?
They had a separate question that was about January 6th. And there's like, what do you say to the Americans who are concerned about you doing stuff like that? Like, it was close to that question, but it was separate. And,
yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, bro, I actually was intrigued by the question because I'm like, okay, this is like controversial. I actually want to see what he's gonna say. And he didn't answer it very well in general. I forget exactly how he gish galloped, to be honest. But then when you got to the question you're talking about, where it's like, are you willing to agree here right now that if you lose this election, that you'll concede? And then he gave the caveat of like, yeah, if it's free and it's fair. And then he changed the subject real fast. And I was like, oh, shit, bro. Then he talked for a long-ass time about some other shit. And then they finally brought him back to the question like a 3rd or 4th time. And he was like, yeah, if it's free and if it's fair, absolutely.
What he shifted it to is why he was running. Yeah, I'm only running because he's so trash. He's so trash. What did he have to run? Like,
that ain't even relevant to the question, bro.
That part was bad. Trump should have just said, his delivery was horrible. He should have just said, I will accept the results of a fair election. Full stop.
yes.
That's all he should have said. That part, bro.
Biden tried to ask Trump a similar question to what he asked him last time. Like, what are you gonna say to like the Proud Boys or something like that? Like, or no? Do you condemn the people that you consider fine people on both sides? Do you condemn them right?
Fine. Kamala will come at a later time. We need Gavin right. If enough people endorse Gavin Newsom, they could sell.
There's not enough time for all this. Biden's not getting swayed.
Kamala Harris is dead on arrival. That's the problem. Is that like somebody like Gavin Newsom? And of course, Gavin Newsom. If of course that's if Kamala.
He would be an idiot to take it, by the way. Right now.
Sure.
In that situation,
Yeah,
he'd be an idiot.
I'm just giving an example.
Like
so
holding
on.
a hand
But
grenade.
we have
fought down 2 recall efforts.
okay, hold on.
Because he said
because
after
everybody
28.
would point California, because California Democrats basically like
You don't live here.
The whole state. Yeah, no, but they did.
Okay, but you don't live here.
Yes, but we know
Right.
that since he's been in power, California's gone downhill. We all know that, and if we look at a lot
Well,
of
you
the
wouldn't because you don't live here.
we see it in the news.
Okay,
So when
but
you
again,
look at
that's
this,
the news. You do
yeah,
not live
okay,
here.
it doesn't matter. You're not going to try to gatekeep because you live there. Now, when it comes to a lot of the
Black women are taking over Scottsdale, Arizona. I read it on the news. I saw it on the news. It was all
you
over.
didn't read that though.
Yes, I did.
Okay, but
Yes, I did.
There's no news. There's no
Yes,
news
I did.
headlines.
There's Black
There's no
women.
news headlines that say that.
Is actually thinking about
This
opening
is
up
so
a clothing
obnoxious.
store. Yes, it's obnoxious. Absolutely.
I'm just saying, everyone should be equal, regardless of what color they are.
We're not talking about color.
Sure,
We're talking about
everyone.
we're talking about like literally when it comes to voting and which demographics or you're going to lose or gain with different candidates. It's just the reality. But if we look at, for example, if you were to look at what they would call like a hellscape, people will show videos of Kensington in Pennsylvania. They'll show, of course, a lot of California. You guys did have and I don't think it's necessarily all Gavin Newsom's fault with the large homeless population and so forth. It has a moderate temperature, and people are you're homeless, where the fuck are you gonna live? But when it comes to like the relaxing of the drug laws and just the criminal justice reforms in general, I mean, it has had a lot of problems, and I think like when it comes to
what happened under Jerry Brown,
you can
you would actually know that if you lived here.
Well,
okay. But if we look at, hold on, let me finish. But if we look at like what happened in California, just like how California Republicans, Ronald Reagan Republican, has generally been different from Republicans throughout the rest of the fucking country. Gavin Newsom's also kind of, he's a Democrat, and how Democrats are in California is not necessarily how Democrats are everywhere else. I mean, they're kind of their own beasts.
It was
Pepe, Gavin Newsom has that same thing Trump does, where he just defies gravity, right? People are mystified by the hair gel or whatever it is. Women just absolutely fawn over him. This is a guy who could perhaps go into South Carolina and win the Democratic primary, which would be very strange for a California governor to do. But I think he absolutely could do it. And he might even be able to do it against a black candidate like Wes Moore. So Gavin Newsom is a complete anomaly, and you can't hold his California record. It's just not going to mean anything. People are not going to count it. They're just going to go off of what they hear from him and what they feel from him in the moment. It's going to be completely illogical.
Yes, and that's why I said that, fuck Kamala Harris, okay? Because, literally, if they're going to replace Joe Biden with anybody else, it will be somebody like Gavin Newsom. And we do know that with Republicans, our weak spot is white women, suburban women. And, look at this handsome man. Look how nice he is. He's so, and they're going to fall for his shit. That is a real
problem. California, full of a bunch of Republican women that, fawned over Gavin Newsom. So, yeah, you are right about that. But going back to the legislative problems that you are blaming on Gavin Newsom, a lot of those were created by Jerry Brown, where Gavin Newsom was his lieutenant governor, not actually the...
But what is America gonna? But the average voter.
Again, Pepe. There's no smoke. I'm just correcting misinformation.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But if I'm gonna look at what the fuck is his name from the Heritage Foundation who makes these videos, and I forget his goddamn name. He talks about the downfall of California and all of this other shit. Victor Davis Hanson. That's his name. It's just like. They're going to paint the picture, and he's going to be involved. That's just, it is what it is. Do I think that Democrats would take... I actually think blacks would Kamala Harris do. I mean, I'm just being honest with you.
With black women, not black women.
So let me tell you what went wrong in California.
But he's a good-looking white man. They'd probably take him over a goddamn black woman. Absolutely.
Who black women actually beloved and actually wanted to vote for in California specifically? It was Schwarzenegger, but again, he's not eligible to run for presidency.
Yeah, but listen, they would vote for Gavin. Even black women, who the entire Democratic Party literally bends over in every single way for, not black men, but black women. They would take Gavin. They would vote for him. They would love his beautiful hair and his white body, but not when stepping over Kamala Harris.
Not black women. Not black women are not voting for Gavin Newsom.
But what is she like? Half like
black women are not voting for Gavin Newsom.
Is she like half cheater?
Listen, okay. As far as
can I take it a stare on Saturday?
Sorority, everybody. everybody. The first.
So she went to Howard
University. And yes, and she went to Howard University.
What was the black side of
Black
her family?
woman
Okay,
conference.
black women are not voting for, again, Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is a cheater. Gavin Newsom has issues. Gavin Newsom is a white niggly bear. He literally is a white niggly bear. Black women do not undervalue black women in their intellect by saying that they're going to vote for Gavin Newsom. Black women are not voting for Gavin Newsom.
Adams, he might be a wiggly bear, a white niggly bear, but they would vote for him, but they would not, because they voted for Biden, but they are not going to vote for him when Kamala Harris, the first black woman vice president, is being completely sidestepped.
Correct.
That will
Well, then
not
that
happen.
means that that's a win for us. That's a win for us. Because
Absolutely.
because I do not see one black person, at least on the Democrat side, that could possibly, I don't know, like, there is no charismatic, there's no Obama-like figure.
Well, you're wrong about that. Governor Wes Moore is actually stronger than Obama in terms of his track record. He's Obama's, oratorical skills, and he's a military veteran, and he's a governor. So when he but he's not going to step in right now. Neither is Newsom. Nobody wants this right now, right? Because it's a suicide mission. Whereas if Newsom and Moore, they both have basically a 50% chance of winning the nomination in 2028. So they would just be blowing themselves up right now.
A couple of
Agree, it's
things
just
I would
hypothetical.
like to say, as you guys may have remembered, excuse me, the last time I was on, I mentioned the problem with SSI, with disability marriage. And what I noticed is they did mention SSI, but what kind of irritated me was they never even mentioned that particular rule or what they were going to do to change it, and that really made me undecided. And what I thought was kind of funny, you guys were watching, the one part where they ended up sidestepping from politics and then ended up going and talking about golf.
I can't even hit a ball 50 yards. But I think the answer to your question, though, is that this is a national debate. When you start talking about niche, policies that will affect a super small group of people in the United States, that they only have 2 hours to talk. That they're not going to. It's just not going to happen.
Responsibility, not mine. She said that loud and clear
on that platform.
And I get that, Pepe, but I'm just saying, for just a politician, one thing, as you guys, like I mentioned before, one thing that I'd like to see with a politician running is just how they're going to be able to help people with disabilities. And yeah, I know it's like a 2-hour program. Yes, I get that. But what I'm saying is, if in order for me to at least see if, yes, this person's going to be right, is what they're going to also be able to do to help people like myself. And I get what you're saying, Pepe, but it's just the way I am.
Yeah, I understand 100%. I think if you're somebody who's in the margins, like especially numerically, who's really facing a real difficulty, it's really hard. And one of the things that I work as a caseworker with seriously mentally ill adults in my county. These are people who don't vote. You can't. A lot of the time, there's not much. It's hard for them to even manage their lives, let alone follow the news and politics and make a vote.
I hope you're not working any cases for black people, Pepe.
No. And so, if you look at, for example, if you're to look at the homeless population, especially in California, what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of those people came from out of state. They have very temperate weather where it's easy to live outside. And of course, when it comes to co-occurring substance abuse, disorders, in addition to your serious mental illness, that kind of makes life a little bit easier. And, there you go. I mean, that's kind of describes the problem. And a lot of these people, these are people that, part of the reason the problem doesn't get solved is because the most downtrodden people, the people that are talking to themselves, that are, living in tents and doing whatever, these people don't have a voice. They don't have jobs. They don't make money. They can't donate. And when it comes to people that are disabled, it's obviously it's a much different story, but they're, if they're disabled and they can't work, they're not producing, they don't have the extra money to donate and so forth. And they're a very small part of the population. It's just like, they're going to.
Pepe, where the hell are you going with this? Let's get back to the debate. And Mr. DH, sorry, haven't we given you people?
Goddamn, why'd you cut me off, you faggot?
Sorry, I am sorry, but we can't go down this road. Like you said, DH, you're like less than 1% of the population.
But that was like literally wrapping up my point, and that's what I was trying to say. It's just like,
I heard you.
They're trying to capture the most voters.
I apologize.
They're trying to capture the most voters when they do these public debates, so that, like, when it comes to the people with unfortunate circumstances that are very small in numbers, yet they just, they can't do it. I mean, just because it's completely it's not feasible.
Absolutely. And DH, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but this is a country that it always baffles me. This is the only place in the world that focuses and puts minority people groups ahead of the majority population. I'm not saying I don't want you to have disability rights and everything that you need, but it's fucking strange. Why can't we actually focus on the majority of Americans and their issues rather than constantly focusing on this very small portions of the population? It's not just you. It's all different kinds of small portions of the population. It just doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, it does, doctor. It does make sense. If you live in a homogenous, high trust, altruistic society such as Norway or Sweden, they can do that, and they absolutely can do that, and it works. But in a place like the United States, it's just not how it works. I mean, I wish he was actually born in Norway or Sweden. I think he would have so much less problems. That's politically, it's a lot more fucked up in the United States.
I actually agree with you, and I seriously am not trying to be disrespectful. It's just I feel like that on a whole bunch of different minorities, and it's not races. It just doesn't make sense in my head that we spend all this time focusing on the tiny parts of America, and yet we're leaving regular Americans can't buy food, they're fucked up, they can't pay their rent, they're about to, if $500 unforeseen consequence, they're about to go into bankruptcy, and yet we have all this shit going on, and we don't focus on the regular American.
Well, Dr. Responsible, can I ask you questions? I already know my answer. You have children, right?
Yeah, 2 of them.
Okay, 2. I don't, so that's why I'm asking. My dad has grandchildren and children, obviously, has children, but he was a paratrooper in Vietnam, Purple Heart. He's a retired federal judge. He's not some dipshit. Like he had told me, like, no, this was a few years ago. If I had a son, like, I would tell him, no, you don't join the military. And I'm somebody who at this point, like, if there was a war, I'm in my 40s, I wouldn't get drafted, but even still, like, if I volunteer, would I want to? For what? What am I trying to save at this point? A bunch of, basically just, 1 generation to 2 generations of people that are completely fucking foreign, that are not American, that bear no resemblance to me, I have zero attachment to, No, not really. In fact, I'll just go out and say I'll just come out with it. I would actually, looking at the changes that are happening to this country with the flood of immigrants, which are much different from the immigrants we got in the past, I would literally rather, and I'm being dead serious when I say this, see China come in, seize control of the United States, then watch a bunch of third world ingrates inherit this fucking country.
So Pepe, man, like, do you know what the ideals? I'm not saying that America lives up to them all the time, some of the time, most of the time. Do you understand the ideals of this country? Do you understand what it is that you're saying, man? Like, I really don't think that you get it, man. I think you have a very myopic point of view, bro. It's sad actually hearing you speak, dog. It's really, like, it's so egregiously ignorant. It's the height.
Which part is ignorant? Tell me which part is ignorant.
Personified.
Let him finish, Pepper.
I just want to know which part is ignorant so I can rebuttal.
Yo, Pepe. All right. America, the ideals of America, has nothing to do with everyone having common ancestry or looking alike. It has nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing. The idea that, you need to join the military to defend people that look like you is as un-American as, some foreign dish, whatever you pick, man. It's like this. I see you laughing, bro, but it's bullshit. We are a nation of immigrants. It just, dog, like, literally, the resilience of this country has to do with us getting the best and brightest from other countries. This is what America does really well. There's a brain drain that goes on from other countries. People are clamoring to come here. They want to reap the benefits of their labor more so than they can do in their home country. This is the gift that's America. And I don't think you really get that, bro.
No, you're actually wrong. So, like, if we were to look at first of all, look what our founding fathers said. Look at even when it comes to the abolitionists, look at what they said about, for example, blacks. We can also look at, 1795, our first Congress, when it came to their immigration laws. It was only 3 white men of good character that were allowed to come here to the United States. You had a couple of waves. You had the Chinese that came here, late 1800s, early 1900s. Then we ended up having the Chinese Exclusion Act. So for almost 200 years, our immigration was limited mainly to Northwestern Europeans. Now, we did have Eastern and Southern Europeans that came here in the 1800s and 1900s. I get that. But with Manifest Destiny and everything like that, basically throughout our whole history.
Time out, Pepe. Can we get back to this debate and Donald Trump and
Wait.
Hold on, no.
Okay, I was about to destroy him.
We're not going to go to the
No. You already going to destroy anything,
This
bro.
isn't about race. This is about who the American public is.
It's about right, and you guys want the majority of the people. You want the majority to be serving, which is white people. You guys want
that
you guys.
majority includes American than I am.
Can we get? I know that for sure. But can we get back
I
to
know
the
it
debate?
too.
Can we get back to the debate?
I want to say something about
It's not the
It
debate.
is, and you're part of the people that we're talking about.
Okay, African Americans and Native Americans, Puerto Ricans, which we fucking conquered, Hawaiians, we can go on and on and on about the non-whites that have been a part of the United States. Now, what the Democrats are doing right now, is they are flooding the fucking borders with a bunch of fucking foreigners. No, they're flooding the fucking border with foreigners, hoping to remain in fucking power. That is what they're doing. They don't give a shit about any of their constituents. They're not Americans.
Those
They're
black
fucking
deported
foreigners.
Americans we just talked about are Americans.
I'm talking
Yes,
about
they're
the people
Americans.
flooding the border.
Almita. Say it right, or you're fired.
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm trying to run a restaurant. Clubhouse.
You're funny, honey. You're so funny.
Yeah.
I didn't start a war, and nor did he give all of that, and nor did he give all that aid so willingly to all of these other countries. While we have a homelessness population going on in our country, while we have a fentanyl issue going on in our country, and like he said, we're allowing all these immigrants to come in our country illegally, and they're turning around and giving these people money hand over fist in every single state that you can imagine. So that's the thing.
So why is your vote not clear? So why is your vote?
Yeah, running for something is
why
also.
Don't you know who,
yeah.
Why?
They got.
No, I'm saying, look, you got two choices. Why isn't your vote clear? Because honestly, this is my problem with my people when it comes to this vote thing, especially with this Donald Trump guy. Since 2015, you got this perception that the racist aspect is the most important thing about it, and it's not. And in fact, he's not racist. Provenly, there's nothing anybody can do to prove that the guy is racist. There's nothing you can do to prove. You assume he's racist because you was told he was racist.
No, I wasn't told he was racist.
He said some reckless stuff.
Hold on 1 second, Blake.
But what's more reckless? No, hold on. Let me contrast.
I got to pause. You're incorrect. You're incorrect because you're assuming. You're making an assumption, and your assumption is wrong. And I want to make sure I clarify before you continue. You assume that we were told that he was racist. We were not told that he was racist. We understand that he's racist based on his actions. Okay?
Let's stick to that. Now, let's stick to that. Great. I like actions. I like actions. Here we go. Now, what actions have Donald Trump did since 2015 till now that was racist? Because obviously we're all a monolith, and we all know that he's racist.
Why don't you answer?
Somebody prove maybe he was racist, guys. Somebody prove it.
We don't even have to play the race card, Blake.
No. But I'm going off of what the gentleman said.
What I'm interested in, I'm sure he's interested in as well, is what is your position? What has Trump done for black people in America that Biden hasn't?
That's what I was getting to.
Because Biden did enumerate the child tax credit, construction works. He enumerated student loan forgiveness. He enumerated a lot of issues that impact Black America. What did Trump do that Biden didn't?
What about the money? What about the money that Trump had signed over without question several times to the a bunch of black initiatives where they have to come there and beg. They go there every fucking year or every quarter to beg to DC, go down to DC and beg for the money. And Trump was just like, look, they fucking proven that they do what they do. They know what they're doing. Just fucking sign the check. Sign these people the check. What about that?
I don't.
They never got credit for that.
Are you just referring to? Hold on, I just want to be specific. Are you referring to the HBCU funding stuff?
I believe so. I'm just saying whatever it is. We're just talking about black.
So?
Like, look. No,
well, you gotta be more specific because
no. You need to be more specific because my question is, you're asking me what I think.
No, you made a statement. I
said what was? No, I made a question. What did he do was racist?
Made a question.
He completely skipped over. No, he said it was wasn't. No, answer to the question was, we don't think. We wasn't told he was racist. We know he racist. And then I followed up with, hey, great, I like action. What did he do that was racist?
Here's a Vox article.
Nobody had an answer. Nobody had an answer. When he turned into
Here's a Vox article.
Look, let's just be real.
I'm literally about to.
Do you want to hear the answer or you want to keep popping off?
I'm literally about to answer you, bro. Calm down. Here's a Vox article that literally has a whole ass timeline of Donald Trump's history of racism from the 1970s all the way to 2020. You want to start there? You want me to start reading that to you?
Policy.
Like if you Google everything that Trump
you said action.
You didn't say policy. You just said action, bro.
Right.
No, action, policy, action. Look,
wait, action and policy are not the same thing. Don't think screaming is going to make you sound better.
No, but don't think saying shit over and over again makes you sound better.
I feel like
if I hire a man, no, listen, the real world works like this.
It is. Keep changing it.
For a job, no, if you hire a man for a job, you don't give a fuck about what he thinks in his personal life.
That's not true at all.
That's actually not true at all. People lose their jobs all the time.
That's
very not accurate.
That's actually the problem. That's actually not how the real world works.
Did you just say stop repeating it? Repeating it?
No, that's actually
repeating it is not making it accurate.
For all of you people who are used to getting served, all of you people who are used to, look, all the motherfuckers who sat down in COVID and let other motherfuckers serve you and tell you when to sit down. You motherfuckers don't know how the real world works. Y'all can't see. Y'all can't see the whole fucking thing. Look.
How do you prove that Baby Huey actually shits in a diaper?
Take a breath.
What?
Calm down for a second, so we got a conversation.
What policy?
The thing is.
Okay, now is it policy now that you want to talk about?
Okay, ask a very specific question. Do you want to talk about
so which one?
Donald Trump?
But he's done. Hold on. But he's done a lot of actions that weren't policies.
Exactly.
And that's why like you switching the policy is a bit awkward.
No, I didn't switch. I just said action.
Switch.
And
okay, but action does not mean policy. Those are not.
What is Donald Trump's relevancy? No, I'm saying what is Donald Trump's relevancy to us in this conversation currently? It's the job position that he's applying for.
His character matters.
It's the job position that he's applying for in a job position.
Donald Trump instituted a lot of. Hold on, calm down. Donald Trump instituted a lot of racist policies in the context of his businesses, right? Prior to becoming president, those are still racist policies, but they're not public policies. Those are private policies of private businesses that he ran, right? So, like. I don't want to play word games. I just want you to be specific about what you mean, which is how I started this. I actually wanted you to simply specify what you're saying, so that we don't have these weird back and forth.
I guess what I'm trying to say is to Donald Trump's relevancy for us talking about him in the first place right now is because of the job title that he's applying for and the job title he previously had. That's what's relevant. As the president, as the previous president, and as applicant, applying for the new job president again, what racist policy has this man versus Democrats? Because we keep hearing stuff about, hey, we don't know who to vote for, but we clearly have a condescending ass fucking party called the Democratic Party who have just shat on us for years.
So he's been demonizing.
Like we stupid as fuck.
He's been demonizing people from various countries in full-blown xenophobic ways since actually he announced he was running for president. He's been using rhetoric that suggests that he thinks of these people from these countries as criminals, as rapists, as drug dealers, etc. There's the rhetoric about shit no countries.
Muslim ban.
How prophetic.
There's the Muslim. There's the
Let's have a conversation.
I'm not done, bro. Like, goddamn. There's the Muslim ban. There's also the weird kind of both sides of his mouth posturing towards white supremacists who support him. And I'm not just talking about the fine people on both sides shit, although some people would evoke that. I'm just mean in general, the fact that he's always subtly cozying up to people who are like white supremacists, and the fact that they support him overwhelmingly, like his associate. Oh, also there was the rhetoric that he evoked when the looting starts, the shooting starts, which is actually a direct quote of an actual, quite literal Klan member from the '60s, I believe. These are all the things that are consistently cited that kind of exemplify Donald Trump's tendency towards racism. But if you don't like those, I mean, Donald Trump has said some problematic shit recently. Donald Trump has suggested recently that black people are supporting him now because they can relate to him because he's being indicted. He literally said that.
My favorite one.
And to be fair, if you're gonna say that Joe Biden saying if you can't figure out whether to vote for him or Trump, you ain't black is racist, then Donald Trump suggesting that black people support him because he is associatable with criminality just like them is also racist for the same reason.
That's true.
Sounds like they're just ignorant white men.
I also think this idea that the only way people vote on a president is. Am I in the matrix?
No, he's in.
No, you're not.
Okay. Okay, I was wondering. This idea to suggest that the only way people vote on president is based off of the policies that they make is actually just not even true. Like, the character of the president is a big part of how people vote. It's a big part of what people find to be important. It's actually why Homeboy looked trash today, is because he did not appear presidential. It wasn't merely because of policy. This idea that policy is the only thing that people are using as a guiding mechanism to decide somebody to go into any job is also not true. This idea that people's jobs are not impacted by their character is not true. If you're a thief, which is part of your character, it has nothing to do with it. You can do a great job, but if I think you're going to steal from me, I'm not going to hire you. Like this idea that like you can. I'm also not done talking, bro. I'm not done, Matrix. You're in the Matrix. Stay on mute while you're in the Matrix. Go back. While you're in the Matrix, stay on mute. Thank you. Additionally, people's jobs on a regular basis have to do with character. Are you able to get along with other people? Are you able to, take your time, stay focused on things? There's so many character things that impact any job you're applying for, and more importantly, the presidency. Actually, Trump is using that same rhetoric to actually present himself as a presidential candidate. He says he's better at doing things because he can intimidate people. That has nothing to do with policy. That is how he's presenting his character as a means to say he's a better candidate for the job. So even he himself is leaning into things. I'm not done, dude. He himself is using examples that show that. I'll go on mute.
So the people want Mr. Magoo and Baby Huey? That's the character that we all are voting for?
I don't hear off the make right. Like, the reasons people come off of mute is ridiculous to me. This app is it.
And damn, another note he just dropped. Wall Street Journal: Biden crashed at first clash with Trump, and other takeaways from the debate. Damn, bro. Let's see, let me read this. President Biden, battling a hoarse voice and sometimes stammering, delivered an unsteady performance Thursday evening in his first debate against former President Donald Trump. It was the sort of showing Democrats feared the incumbent, who polls show faces greater concerns about his age and vitality than Trump would deliver. It lacked the energy and combativeness Biden mustered for his State of the Union speech earlier this year, an appearance that gave Democrats some optimism about the campaign vigor. The challenger mostly kept his composure, something he isn't known for. The much talked about mute buttons put in place because Trump so frequently talked over Biden when they debated in 2020 didn't seem to come into play often. In an election season where many Americans wish they had other options, the face-off allowed the two rivals to highlight the vulnerabilities of their opponent to the slim set of voters who remain undecided. Their high-stakes meeting in Atlanta, hosted by CNN and moderated by networks Jake Tapper and Dana Bash, delivered some firsts. It was the first modern debate between a sitting and former president, the first featuring a felon, and the first held in the studio with no live audience since the Kennedy-Nixon debate in 1960. Those factors influenced the dynamics of a 90-minute show that brimmed with insults and policy contrast. A face-off held much earlier in an election year than is typical. The race is narrowly divided nationally, but Trump leads in several battleground states. Biden experienced the worst opening 15 minutes of presidential debate ever, said Aaron Call, the University of Michigan's director of debate. Both old, but one looked older. That's a subheading. The two men were just a few years apart in age, but Biden looked older in his presentation during an exhausting evening in front of what was expected to be a sizable television audience. Biden also had his share of gaffes. As he answered a question about the national debt and started talking about health policy, he stammered and appeared to lose his train of thought at the end of his answer. You know, that one, just as a side note, one of the times he stammered and kind of trailed off and then ended, and Biden goes, yeah, I don't know what the heck he just said. I was like, damn. Or not Biden, Trump said that. Trump was like, yeah, I don't know what the heck he just said. That was fucked up. Trump didn't have to do that to him. That shit was funny, though. Biden also had his share, as I read that already, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, Biden said, look, if we finally beat Medicare, Trump responded, well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death. Trump has some comebacks. So I was like, damn, Trump, you have to do him like that. Trump and his allies in his days leading up to the debate had put forward unfounded accusations that Biden, 81, would arrive on stage with performance-enhancing chemicals in his system. It was an allegation Trump, 78, also made before Biden debated in 2020. Age is a top of the mind issue for many voters, and the current president is the oldest person to serve in the office. Trump, if elected, would be poised to claim that record near the end of the second term, but the challenger, unlike the incumbent, remained robust in his presentation throughout. He also sought to highlight Biden's stammers, following a meandering answer to the question about immigration. Quote, I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. Trump said, I don't think he knows what he said either. Trump is fucked up, bro. I can't believe Trump said that on TV. Asked about the issue of age, Biden had a line at the ready. This guy's 3 years younger and a lot less competent, he said. That was actually a good line. Trump responded to a question about his age by saying he would like Biden to take a cognitive test and release the results, triggering a chuckle from the president. Okay, sharpest attacks. If there was any uncertainty, the debate made clear neither man has any respect for the other. Despite their joint status in an elite club of living past and present White House occupants, as they took the stage, neither man moved to shake hands, as have often been customary. Biden challenged Trump over reports that he has called Americans who died in war losers and suckers, referencing his son, the late Beau Biden, an Army officer. Biden said, my son was not a loser. He's not a sucker. You're a sucker. You're a loser. Trump again asserted he had never made the comments. Trump's chief of staff at the time has confirmed he used those derogatory words. The former president also suggested Biden isn't fit for office. Quote, he's not equipped to be president, end quote, Trump said. Quote, his presidency, without question, the worst presidency in the history of our country. We shouldn't be having a debate about it. There's nothing to debate, end quote. Biden sought to highlight Trump's past and potential future legal issues and suggested at one point that the thrice married man has the, quote, morals of an alley cat, end quote. Soft landing or surging prices. The economy is typically listed as the largest share by the largest share of voters when they are asked by pollsters that what their top issues are in the presidential race. Trump talked down the current environment, while Biden argued things were looking up, even though more work remains to be done. Trump sought to hang the issue of inflation, which will slow considerably but remains especially painful for lower and middle income Americans, directly on Biden. Quote, inflation is killing our country, end quote, he said. The president pointed to a low unemployment and a robust stock market. Economists are no longer talking much about the risk of recession, something that seemed much more likely early in Biden's term as the Federal Reserve raised interest rates to cool inflation. Quote, working class people are still in trouble, end quote. Biden acknowledged, quote, we're working to bring down the price of the kitchen table, and that's what we're going to get done, end quote. The president also repeatedly sought to remind viewers of some of the bad things that played out during Trump's tenure. Quote, we had an economy that was in free fall, end quote, he said. Quote, the pandemic was so badly handled, many people were dying. All he said was, it's not that serious. Just inject a little bleach in your arm, end quote. Trump at the COVID briefing in 2020 pondered whether treatments involving lighter disinfectants should be studied. Abortion. Trump continued his effort to stake out a Republican abortion position after the Supreme Court ruling overturning Roe v. Wade galvanized voters in support of the abortion access. First, he praised the justices he put on the court for the ruling, repeating a baseless claim that every legal scholar wanted Roe v. Wade overruled. But then he stressed that he supports exemptions to any abortion law for rape, incest, and the life of the mother, arguing that while some don't agree, you've got to get elected. Trump also appeared to commit to allowing the abortion pill to remain available across the United States. Quote, the Supreme Court just approved the abortion pill. I agree with their decision to have done that. I will not block it, as Trump said. Biden, who has made abortion rights a central plank of his campaign and has targeted Trump for appointing 3 justices to the Supreme Court and overturning Roe, seized on Trump's statement that the issue should be left to the states, saying it was, quote, a little like saying, we're going to turn civil rights back to the states, end quote. The ruling has unfurled a patchwork of laws across the country and created uncertainty over related issues, including the future availability of abortion pills and mail-order pharmacies. The debate came shortly after the Supreme Court said it would allow emergency abortions in Idaho without deciding key issues in the case. No rapport. During the commercial break, Biden and Trump remained at their lecterns and looked ahead at photographers took photos. According to a White House poll report, the candidates didn't say anything or make eye contact with each other. Toward the end of the debate, the two began bickering about golf, as older men sometimes do. He can't hit a ball 50 yards, Trump said. That promoted a retort from Biden. I'm happy to play golf with you if you carry your own bag. And that's how the fucking article ends from the Wall Street Journal. Yeah, this is petty. Thoughts?
Hey, Jason. How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
My thoughts, painful. It was painful for me to watch Joe Biden. Also, Jason, I have never, ever seen 8 people sitting at the anchor desk at CNN and all saying the same thing, that they were all getting text from Democratic leaders, governors, and Congress people that were saying, this is serious. We weren't aware it was this bad. And by the way, y'all, I'm no Donald Trump fan. I mean, I agree with everything that Jason just said about the fact checking. We know that Donald Trump lies, and I would say we got from Donald Trump what I expected to get from Donald. I saw Donald Trump as Donald Trump was. You know, for Donald Trump, I give him a B. But Joe Biden, it was painful, Jason. Just painful. But those are my thoughts.
And I agree with you 1,000%, man. I am 53 years old. I have seen my fair share of debates. I've seen a lot of debates, bro. And I have never, in all my days, seen an ass whipping like I saw tonight. And the bad part about it is, Donald Trump's easy to beat. He's just so easy to beat. He is the only one that I've seen that was easier to beat was Walter Mondale. Walter Mondale was really easy to beat. But I have never seen, and I am absolutely positively, I'll vote for my laptop before I vote for Donald Trump. But Donald Trump mopped the floor with Joe. And it wasn't because Joe wasn't good on policy. It was exactly what Van said. You had one guy over here who actually looked 15 years younger. He was very simple in his words, used words that a 5th grader could use, could understand. He was very plain spoken, and he lied the whole time. And you had another guy over here who looked like he was rolled in right out of a coffin, and he stuttered the entire time, could not string together coherent sentences, but he told the truth, and the policies were good. And I'm sorry, in the country that we live in, this is not Reagan, where people were intelligent. This is 2024, and people don't care about facts. They don't care about policy. They care about talking points, and are easily swayed because people don't read. And that's what happened, and it was really, this is the worst I've ever seen in my 53 years. I've never seen it.
Can I respond to that real quick? I would like to. I never heard so much malarkey in all my life.
It's just my opinion, bro. It's just my opinion.
But it's malarkey. Okay, this is the deal. All right. You said that the man was incoherent, but he won on policy.
So you heard every single word that he said. So please don't give us this nonsense. All right? Everybody knows that Joe Biden has issues, right? The man old, right? But we understand exactly what's happening right now in this country, right? You have one guy who's going to take your sovereignty away, right? That's it. That's it. You don't need to look at any other candidate. You're just going to vote with your eyes closed against that. That's what you do. That's what you do as Americans, right? You listen. I come from a country where there's a whole heap of corruption. Oh, a lot of corruption. You guys don't want that. You don't want people who are going into your White House who's about themselves. You hear what I'm saying to you? Joe Biden is the perfect candidate. Hear why? His compromised state means that he doesn't give a damn about himself. He cares about you. He's running against one thing. One thing he's running against. And he's running against you losing your sovereignty. Right? He does not want that to occur. So please, I know Joe Biden stuttered. I know he did. And it hurts. It's painful. The man, right there, 10 minutes in, I understand your knee-jerk reaction is to run for the hills. You understand me? But grab your balls, tighten your loins. You understand me, big man? And you walk straight to the freaking poll. And you vote against Donald Trump. That's what you do.
Nobody
Can
debate that, bro.
Let me finish real quick. If tomorrow, listen. If tomorrow the Democrats choose somebody else to run, it doesn't matter to me. It shouldn't matter to you. You shouldn't be running around and say, "Oh my gosh,
we hope so.
We have to choose somebody else." It does not matter. The issue is you're running against Trump. You, the American people, run against Trump. Trump says they are indicting you, the American people. Whenever he's going to jail, he says they are putting you in jail. That's what Trump says. Right? So you're voting for you when you vote against Trump. It's about you, it's not about Joe Biden.
Okay, bro. Let's just talk about the debate, man.
Wait. Black,
Sorry.
can I chime in?
Hold on.
I thought I had to be next to me.
So the queue's gonna go Christine first, then Kalisha, then GA Pimpleton. I don't know what the rest of this is. GA, then Coco, and then we'll go from there. So Christine, Kalisha, GA, and then Coco, and then we'll go from there. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Buck. We've lost sovereignty with both these candidates. If you're going to go sovereignty, I mean, neither one of them is viable to me. I mean, I sat through the debate reluctantly, and it was a travesty. I mean, we have 4 generations. I'm an educator. We have 4 generations under both these guys, and we don't have viable candidate, millennial or Gen X. I'm Gen X. I think it's disgusting. Okay? It's disgusting. But to land my plane, I mean, I'm not loving everything Kennedy says. We need 4 candidates on that stage. 4, minimum. I mean, Biden, and I'm a Democrat, registered Democrat, I can't vote for this guy. I'm not saying I'm voting for Trump. He looks, my father's 85, okay? He looks worse than my father. Worse than my mother. My mother would whip, my mother's disabled. I mean, could you imagine if we had 2 45 and 50-year-old candidates on that stage? They would have ran circles around both of them. It's pathetic. I'm 50 years old. I'm so angry right now, and I teach high school kids. I'm crying internally about this. Because this is, I teach Gen Z. I'm sorry, Gen Alpha. My kid is Gen Z. And I care about this country. I'm disgusted that we don't have better candidates than both of these people. You know, I'm so agitated, I would run. I'd speak better up there, and I've been on Clubhouse for 2 years, and I'm not intellectual like the people I talk to on here, including the moderators in this room. I'm disgusted. I really am hoping for a revolution, that we're dissatisfied with both these candidates. You know, I'm disgusted right now. I fear for our young people. We need a millennial in office. We don't need boomers anymore. I'm done. I'm so done after this debate. Questions were not answered. Issues that affect millennials, Gen X, and Gen Z and Gen Alpha were not even asked by CNN candidates. College debt, housing crisis, corporate ownership of single-family homes, health care. My mother's a boomer, and her insurance and medication went up. Both of them were lying on stage. I'm so angry right now, I'm not trying to get emotional, but we need Gen Xers and millennials running this country at this point. You know, Biden belongs in a nursing home. I'm sorry. I know it sounds really ageist. He's incoherent. I can't ethically vote for this guy. I can't ethically vote for either of these people. And I'll land my plane with this. Kennedy should have been allowed on that stage. I don't even agree with everything he says. And I know he has vocal disability issues. But I'm voting third-party candidate at this point. Because it's a protest vote. I don't want to sit out. And thank you, Jay, for letting me.
Kalisha.
100. So the great news about this debate was that it was done early. The Democratic National Convention has not happened yet. And we've already seen our presidential candidate debate. We saw Gavin Newsom wipe the floor with Ron DeSantis. Look, this is a great opportunity we have to mobilize generations with this pivot, okay? We are talking a last-minute Hail Mary. We are watching a new star rise, okay? So honestly, don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged by what we're seeing here. Be encouraged, because there was no other way we were getting this old-ass man out of office. There was no other opportunity for him and for the rest of us to see that, yes, while, he still knows what he's talking about, he doesn't have the vibes. But we know who has the vibes. And we now have an opportunity to go around to rally people. We have someone who is literally going to be able to completely change things up. We're going to see him in all of these places. Look, the funding, the fundraising has been pretty stagnant. Why do you think that is? Because people aren't excited. But Gavin Newsom, he has the policies to get people excited. Trump is so sure that the blacks love him. But guess what? Only one governor that we know is, running a statewide reparations committee and looking at how to actually do something about the generational harms that have been perpetuated against what I call the permanent underclass in the United States. The same person who has strong stances on things like abortion, the same person who has been able to statewide have a pre-K program that is free, regardless of your income. Y'all, this is a revolution. We are about to see something that is unprecedented happen. Joe Biden is going to say, yeah, I'm not running, but this good young chap over here, Gavin, he's going to take my spot. He's good looking and he's white. What else could the people possibly want? I'll land. Thank you.
Damn, we got some real cults going on now.
And the switch-up is crazy and shameless, but also predictable, because y'all Democrats shields, y'all don't have very many options. That's pretty obvious. GA, you're next, and then Coco.
Hey, Black, you're right. There aren't many options. Do I hope that there's a last-minute switch? I really do. I don't know why people would remotely think that the middle of the country, red, Republican American, or swing states would ever vote for anybody from California. The rest of the country hates California. Anything about California. They think they're weirdos. And they're not, but that is what the middle of the country thinks about. Florida is not voting for anybody from California. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. That hasn't happened since Reagan. I don't know what planet people are on, but it's not going to happen. They hate California laws. They hate California's progressiveness. It's too far left. Can't come to the middle of the road. And the only way Gavin Newsom actually gets a sniff of the black vote is if he names Jasmine Crockett his running mate. That's the only way that happens. Do I think Biden needs to step aside? Absolutely. Do I think that the answer is Gavin Newsom? Absolutely not. That's a sure way to lose. But I think there are a couple of people out there. My personal opinion is too late. He should have stepped aside to begin with. Because to build that type of momentum, you can randomly pick somebody off the Democratic floor to wipe up the floor with Trump. He's not that intelligent. He's not that smart. You can beat him with a rubber stamp. I mean, put anybody out there. They can just turn to him. What color is the sky? Convicted felon. You know, what are you going to do about Charlottesville? Convicted felon. It's not complicated. It's 2 words. Just keep saying those. Because Trump understood the assignment. Whatever they asked him, the answer was Joe Biden is screwing up immigration. Joe Biden has screwed up the economy, inflation, and Joe Biden has screwed up Ukraine. And he repeated the same thing. He understood the assignment because he understands his base. He understands politics. He understands that people don't read. They don't know the facts. And they are going to just make their decision on sound bites. It's sad, but that's the world we live in, folks. And I'm sorry to say it. The guy that I absolutely abhor is actually one tonight.
Coco. Go once. Can
What kind of country is this?
No, everybody else stop. Coco, go twice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, Black? Nice room as always. Yeah, so the 2024 presidential debate with Biden and Trump. So, of course, you know, we should definitely be taking this presidential debate very seriously, simply because it's one of the most important presidential elections that we have, you know, thus far, at least in my voting, since I've been legal to vote. This is one of the most important elections because a lot depends on this election. And in the presidential